I didn't kill your wife.
Why would you say that?
I'm watching a TV show, and that's what he just said. Oh man, I didn't kill your wife. All right, let's get into it. What's going on my phone? Oh, Wi-Fi. Oh, all right, that should help.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Said we live. What's going on, guys?
Hey,
What it do, guy? What is up? What is up?
another money
What's,
making Monday.
what's up? What's up? What's
I'm
up? What's up? What's up? Hey, what's up?
yeah,
What's up?
yeah, yeah. I'm just rolling up some good old trees right now
Hmm.
and getting ready to have a good session with the gang. How are y'all feeling out there?
Man, cooler than an ice cube. Ready for this situation. It's coming up for the next month. I'm ready for the weather to change, seasons to
Mm-hmm.
change. I'm ready for this allergies to stop messing with everybody so we can just get into our element.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Now I don't know if I'm tripping, but all I heard was the elements, and then you started going crazy.
Yeah, like repeat yourself. You say you ready for the elements and whatever and what else?
Oh, I'm ready for the summertime. I'm ready for the weather to change. I'm ready for all these allergies to stop messing with people so we can get into our element.
Facts, facts, facts. Six, what you ready for? What
Now,
what what what's up? What's
you
up?
know what? I'm just ready because everybody know June between June and August is my time.
Mm.
That's when I give y'all new music, lots of shows, so much promo that you already knows. So I am ready for that. And y'all know tour season has begun and Sixxcess got a day coming on Sunday. And
What's
I
up? What's
expect
up? What's
y'all
up?
to be
What's
turning
up?
up with your boy. Even if you're not near me, take a shot, roll one for me. And if you roll one for me, make sure it's not Huff. And also, you have to tag me when you light it up. All right. You don't have to put a weed pick up, but just tag me when you spark up. Think of me. Think of me.
Okay. All right. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, I know your birthday is right after mine, Jezebel. But if you don't mind just letting me have the floor, and then we could talk about yours next Monday.
Sure, sure, sure. It's
Uh,
all about you this week.
yeah.
Definitely Taurus season. Bulls is in the house. You and me. Yes, and I'm loving it. 'Tis the season. Hey everybody, how y'all doing?
Tis
We
the
got a lot
season.
to talk about today. Oh my gosh, it's interesting, just like the topic. I know
So
y'all.
look, I got on a suit today, so that means that I'm very professional. So all y'all out there, anything I say is a professional comment. All right, it's a professional comment. Let's go.
No, you picked the wrong
Well,
day
well,
for this,
before we get too deep,
brother,
I just really
brother
want to touch
man.
on something that we didn't really get to.
Yes,
How was it being Tony for those 3 days?
Oh my
exactly.
gosh. It was amazing. Like I got so much love from like the L in the LGBT community.
Hmm.
Get the big
Like
stuff.
a lot of the butch girls and I don't know what you call them, doms, they really embraced me.
Okay,
My
they
guy
embraced it.
friends, they really like I mean, I think they felt it was a little bit hysterical, but I mean, it was pretty cool.
But well
Um
worth it.
I didn't experience any police brutality as
Mm.
Tony. I didn't really feel any different oppression as Tony. I must say the ladies took a liking to me.
Now hold on though. Now I understand that you went as Tony, but did you go as a black man?
Yeah, I was actually I was actually I don't want to say impersonating, but embracing my inner black man. Right?
Okay, okay. Now we gotta ask: did you go to any outings as Tony, and where did Tony visit?
Actually, I just drove around the town, went to a couple of curryouts and, some dangerous parts of DC just to see, if I walked the block, what would
Well, that's
happen.
so us. That's so us.
So
That's so us.
I just really wanted to embrace
Did you have
myself.
your music down with a slight lean to your seat and your music loud while your windows were down and fully tinted? Or did you go with the darker tints, the illegal 5% limo tints, and hoopty on your escapade to see if you'd
Well,
be
I
harassed?
mean, I lived as a black man, not an ignorant black man. So, I
Okay.
mean, I pretty
Not
much,
an
I
ignorant
don't
black.
have any ops out here. So, as Tony, I pretty much fish boated. I got light tents. I always blast my music. Y'all know I
Okay.
listen to nothing but rough trap music. So,
Okay.
and I always drive, with my left arm, you know what I'm saying, lean to the side, lean back a little bit. So,
Hmm.
I had my do rag on, it was cool. It
I'm
was
not gonna lie. The one time I rode with you, I
You
was
got
shocked to
on the
see you do
do-rag?
ride like a gangster.
real.
Now, now I have to ask you, Tony. Ask Tony, did you meet any nice young ladies?
I
Did
mean,
you get
I
some head?
did. I really didn't, come
Really?
on to them too tough
Okay.
Yeah.
because, I'm really, really, really deep in my heart attracted to the essence of a man. So even living as a man, I was still attracted to men. So
Well, hopefully you didn't
I was,
tell anyone GAY as your time as Tony.
I don't run into too many of those. I mean, sorry, too many of them. I
Hmm.
mean, too many people in that part of the community.
Did you
Okay.
run into any
I hope I was
mics?
politically correct. I don't want to offend anybody, but
I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure somewhere along the line you were not politically correct. I'm sure that someone is already offended. However, I'm wearing a suit, so everything I ask is in a professional realm. Let's carry
I
on.
feel like I
Yeah.
know what you're doing with Success. At the end of this show, you're gonna pull out that little clicky thingy from Men in Black and try to wipe everybody's memory. I'm hip to you. I know what you're doing.
but
Mm-mm, mm-mm. See, I
like,
could never. I could never work for Men in Black. I
Why?
never saw in any of those franchises the weed that they had down there.
oh wow.
I'm just saying.
They
So
had that alien Kush.
yeah, they zap your mind to make you forget you like weed and shit. That's not cool. I'm not with that. I'm not with that. So
That's
I'm
not
cool with it.
cool.
I'm cool with it. It's amazing they zap their minds and they forget they remember all their fighting skills. They just seemingly forgot who they were, where they were, and could be told they were anything in the world. And I'm afraid what someone may tell me I am or
Mm.
was doing there. So yeah, no, I'm
I
good.
need to I need to actually rewatch that. But
No, you don't. It's not that
Wait,
good.
if you go back and rewatch Men in Black, that's boredom. So don't do that. You'll be
what?
Yeah,
good.
don't do it.
Don't go back and watch Men in Black. Just know it was a good movie about zapping your memory and aliens. We don't have to go back in a time machine.
It wasn't even
Yeah.
that good of a
Okay,
movie.
okay,
Yeah.
peaches, 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 peaches. I'm gonna make you mine. Now, hey, now is you right? This probably is the year of the suit. I don't know. I like this. I'm feeling real Stephen A. Smithish today. I think that I might keep pulling out the suit. I might pull out the suit every once in a blue. I don't know. I don't know.
Are you wearing this
I
because you were
mean,
coaching?
whatever floats your boat,
I
sir.
haven't coached. I haven't coached in a minute. The season doesn't start again until October. I just wanted to give a different look today, J Money. That's the
Is this
problem.
what
We
you do
see a
when you
brother
coach?
in a suit. Why
No,
would we see a brother?
I just never saw you in one. I wear suits all
No,
the
no.
time.
Why when we
Never
see
seen
a
you in
brother
one.
in a suit, we assume court, we assume funeral, or some type of
No,
engagement
no, I thought you was a
or
coach. Like I
coke.
thought you were gonna take another button down and
Oh.
blow
Or
and pull the
coke.
whistle out or some shit.
Woo! Nah, cause I be watching a lot of the mafia movies, some gangster movies, and they tell you like
Hey,
if you really want to be the
that's
man, you need a good suit. You need a good suit.
listen.
That's
That's why
true.
I
That's
have two.
definitely true.
That's why I
Yep.
got
That
two of them.
Well, moving right along, guys.
Amen.
Let's talk about what we got going on here in the DMV. So,
Mm-hmm.
our good man and Glizzy.
And Glizzy.
I was actually out the other day, and I caught myself binge watching some of his episodes.
Oh, he
And
was
then
bored.
I thought back to when Big TV first started. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, well, wow, how far has Aunt Glizzy come? Okay. And I seen a lot of his tactics that really, really worked for him.
Yes.
However, while admiring his strengths and his wins, I couldn't help but to think about all the people that I didn't forget about, but kind of dissipated into the dust
Mm-hmm.
when picking upon him. And I wouldn't even say just picking on him because he has his sayings too. You know, he kind of be going in on people. But I do remember people trolling him. People, you know, when his chain got I don't even want to
Snap.
say snatched because it didn't get snatched. It got stolen or whatever the
Okay.
case may
Okay.
be,
Okay.
which to me is different than actually walking up to somebody and yanking their chain. So a lot of people had a lot of say in that, picking sides or whatnot.
Yeah.
But he kind of he publicly like assassinated he
Yeah.
publicly assassinated a handful of people and some good people, you know, some
Yeah.
people that I kind of like. And I've been checking for him recently because I'm kind of like, well, what happened? Like, they was like loud, they was out there, you know, and it kind of like dissipated. Now I'm not gonna play any of these
No
clips
tie.
from his past lives, and I'm only doing this because I don't want any of these people to relive the embarrassment, like the embarrassment that they went through dealing with Aunt Glizzy. So
Let's hear it.
just to name a few, rest in peace, Nate Skywalker. But I remember and Davey Ruffin going back and forth, and Nate Skywalker was trolling him. I mean, just trolling him for no reason. Well, what happens? He caught him at the mall, whatever the case may be. What we saw was him embarrassing Nate Skywalker in the mall when Nate wasn't expecting it.
That's what we saw.
We don't know what actually happened. We weren't there, but this is what we saw. And pretty soon after that, I mean, Nate tried to reclaim his popularity and just try to change the narrative. But I think him messing with Aunt Glizzy, that sting back really kind of like gave him a little jab. You know what I'm saying? Next on my list, Davy Ruffin. Now, Davy Ruffin, and actually, I'm gonna save him for last because he's one of the people that actually seem to regain or rebuild or reshift his narrative after his beef with Aunt Glizzy. But next up, I'm gonna go with Craig. Cray. I used to watch Cray's live. He was funny. He was hilarious. I don't know. Him and Aunt Glizzy was cool. I don't know what happened. But it broke my heart when they started going back and forth. Now, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really follow that beef because, of course, like I said, I like both of them. I think both of them are hella attractive in their own ways. So I enjoyed watching them. However, it seemed like after them two got into it, Craig kind of fell back off of IG. I don't know what happened. Oh, and rest in peace to his pops because I think his father had passed away as well. So maybe it was lifestyle changes that kind of got him offline.
Maybe.
But Craig, come on back, please. We need you out here. Next on my list, Suge from Uptown, King Suge. Very popular on the internet, showing off, having block parties. He's known for Mr. Morton Street, where of course if you know me, you know I'm from up there. But when Ant and Taliban Glizzy somehow got into whatever beef that they got into, which I'm going to get to Taliban next, Ant went on a rant. I mean, like, I was so shocked. I was clutching my pearls, like, oh my gosh, like, why is he beefing with Suge? Suge is everybody's friend. Like, I really didn't get it. But, I mean, after that, it's like, Suge's presence isn't the same online. And I don't know if it was Aunt Glizzy or maybe some lifestyle changes. He did get married, and Aunt kind of talked bad about his wife on the live.
Damn.
But I mean, it just seems like his popularity kind of like died. His presence online, not his popularity, but his presence online kind of faded away as well. Next on my list, Taliban Glizzy. I don't know. I don't even know where this beef started. I think it started with him either shooting a video or basically having something to do with Aunt's chain, insinuating some type of affiliation with what happened with Aunt's chain. And ever since then, Aunt will not get his foot off this man's neck. He just made a video about him either last week or the week before. Like, he is not letting up, okay? Damn, are we on number 4? 5, APAP. This was another one that was like really, 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 really bad, okay? I don't know how these two people got into it, but he like assassinated this man, like really, the man that moved halfway across the nation. And it just was really, really, really bad. Now, last is Davy Ruffin. And I saved Davy Ruffin for last because this one is another one that really got to me, you know. And I kind of, at first, I thought it was Ant's fault. I'm like, why Ant keep picking on Davy? Like, Davy innocent. Like, he just trying to crack his jokes. Like, leave him alone or whatever. Like, I was like, damn, Ant, you gonna troll him too, right? So they was going back and forth or whatever. Davy's grandmother died. And this is when I gained all respect for Ant, okay? And ever since then, like, I've seen him in a different light, like, regardless of his trolling, regardless of what he does to people. He said, you know what, guys? His grandmother just died. I'ma lay off of it. I ain't even about to do this. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, dang, but he talked about your mother. Like, he talked about this. Like, you just gonna be like, okay, respect.
Mm-hmm.
Guess the funeral's over, whatever happened. Davy comes back online and takes a shot at Ant. At that point, I was like, well, he gave you a pass. You know, anything after this is fair game. And I'm really going to be on Ant's side because it's kind of like he kind of said publicly to everybody on live, I'm leaving him alone. And you just came back and was shooting shots. And it's still throwing shots to this day. I just seen a video like 2 weeks ago. However, Davey is the only one that was still able to keep his career going as far as a comedian and doing what he needs to do to still stay relevant. However, he do live on the West Coast, but that doesn't stop his pull or what we see him doing here in the DMV. I do want to give a shout out to Davey Ruffin because he's, from what I know, he's a kind guy. Got to interview him a few years back. But yeah, so outside of Davey, I mean, APAP he's boxing now, but he used to be a comedian. So I don't know if he's like a comedian boxer.
I think he like a Swiss Army knife.
A what?
Like a Swiss Army knife. He do multiple things.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, ever since he got into it with Ant, I don't think he was doing comedy no more. Like, that's what I'm saying. And I hate, you know, what I enjoy about this topic the most, right, is when Ant came out, everybody was like, man, he a fucking troll. He trolling everybody. He doing this. He doing that. Okay, he did that. What I think helped Ant, like, really, like, helped him, he got people watching him all over. He went on a few other platforms, and I think him going on Say Cheese kind of helps him get more pull from that side of the country, as well as the different outlets that he do go on, whether he's saying nothing at all, he's still putting himself out there, getting himself out there so that he can gain more following. Of course, the trolling helped, but I mean, I'm proud of where he's come. I'm proud of where he's at right now, and I hope he does good. Oh, this is what I forgot to mention. So while he's beefing with everybody, the only thing they can say about him, they can only talk about his mother. And that was one of the things that got me too, was like, all y'all can talk about is his mother. Like, y'all don't have nothing to say about him.
Who? About Aunt Glizzy? And that's crazy, right? To think about it. To answer the question, did he end the careers of these people? That's a no. He didn't. right? But he's like the indie version of, I guess, like Joe Button or Noriega, maybe. I don't know, because he doesn't do music anymore.
I mean, he been stopped doing music.
So then maybe they ended his career and started a new career
That,
for him.
Well,
that's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know because he wasn't like he still did like he just ever since I guess he been done with whatever. He just drops like he drops mixtapes here and there. He might drop a song here and there,
Bullshit.
but
He
I
drops
mean, no,
more
he's
social
not a
media.
rapper
He
anymore.
does
That's
more
true.
social media trolling than anything else. His
Trolling.
career is around social media. He's a social media influencer. That's what he is now.
I
There's no
don't
other
know too
title to
much
put on
about
that.
influencer. I would say
No, no, no. I'm
he's
not saying
like,
he's really an influencer, but that's what you would call it. You know what I'm saying? That's the title that you would give what he's doing.
uh,
A social media influencer. He's not
Hey,
making music
I
anymore.
like what Ed Glizzy. I like the new Ed Glizzy. I love
this
it.
one, right? This
Yeah,
one here, yeah.
I never really knew his music like that. And and it's crazy because all of those people that you named, I mean, besides Skywalker, I knew him obviously, but all of those people that you named, I don't know who they are. So he
And you
actually,
know, Suge, listen, you know, Suge, because we was in the club with them that we did a Red Lounge joint with him.
but let me tell you what's crazy, right? I don't know who this person is. I mean, anytime I'm in the building, it's my thing anyway. Now,
APAP.
I now APAP and Davy Ruffin, I know who they are, but like you said, their careers aren't ended. They doing other shit.
No,
So
Davy's still doing the same shit. That's the whole point of my story. The whole point of Davy's the only person that is still doing what he was
Top
doing in the beginning of his
before.
beef with Ed. Everybody else kind of fizzled off.
yeah,
So that's what I'm saying is did Ed's impact like kind of like alter what they had going on and
well, yeah, I think it did. I think it actually impacted them all in a good way because they got some notification and some notoriety on a different platform without having to be there. So yeah, that was it. I respect
So
it.
you did you see the fight?
I did not see the fight. Thank God.
I didn't see the
Ow.
whole fight. I saw clips from the fight, and I felt like
You
that's
saw the
all I needed.
knockout. You saw the knockouts, like everybody. You saw the knockouts.
I saw the clips,
Hmm.
and from the clips, I feel like that was a comedy match. Like I don't know how serious to take that. I was laughing. I thought it was a joke, and
No,
I was
it
like,
was an
oh, you can
actual
start.
professional bout. It was an actual professional bout. He's now 0-1 in the professional boxing world.
I thought it was like an episode of Martin. You remember the episode
Well,
of
I
Martin
mean,
when he was boxing?
yeah, but let's look at the reality of things here, right? No one ever knew he was a boxer, an
Facts.
amateur boxer, or anything.
And he was
That's the
holding it
world
down though.
today. Well, yeah, his career probably did end at what he was doing, but maybe secretly he wasn't trying to do it anyway. I don't know. It's weird. But
you
Ed Glizzy's impact put them people on the map, though. Help
you was
solidify.
talking about a Paps comedy. I mean, boxing match.
Yes. Did you see a Paps boxing match?
I'm like, which one? Javante Days? Like, what?
Nah, you petty. So you think you can take APAP now? So you can take APAP, J Money?
No, I didn't say I'm a trained boxer.
I didn't
Hey, we
play.
started shit today. We started shit today.
Cause
APAP, APAP, let's get it set up. Let's get it set up because he thought it was comedy. And you gotta show him that them hands is real. He wanna get that APAP thunder. Hey,
I rather listen.
he weak at he weak on the top of the head, bro. He weak on the top of the head, bro.
I
All
rather him
right,
crack his
now,
neck.
let's get to the let's let me let's can I address the biggest elephant about this title? Why are you saying allegedly locked up?
Yeah, the
I say
allegedly.
allegedly because two reasons. I need to check my phone and see if he's out. One, I haven't checked ever since I looked it up earlier, so I'm about to check to see if he's out. And
Okay.
then if I don't see no activities. So when was this?
Like it was his status was interesting. It said I'd take a little time in jail before I end up in a casket. That was interesting.
Yeah, hold on
I
one
think
second.
I
And
don't know
then
the whole situation, but
reason,
that sentence makes
other
sense.
reason why I said allegedly is because
She like Fat You was spotted chilling down in the hood just yesterday. Don't tell me he was spotted. Don't tell me there's been a Fat You spotted walking around.
I mean, to me, it just seems like I don't know. It just seems like every day somebody is like either.
Getting locked up or killed.
So
Yeah,
a part of me questions like, are they like really? So I take a little sentence. I ain't taking no casket free. All right. So a lot of people had a lot of negative things to say. Um, there was a lot of people in here that said free ye, but one of the comments that really got me go, really got me go was the one and Fat Ye. You know I fuck with you, but this is some real shit. Like I think one of them was like awesome. Third, how old are you? Is too old. Like you too old. You too old to be in there or to be living this lifestyle. Like a lot of people was just over the rap, the whole rap persona of
A Fat You.
like 40 years old. Like people is just kind of coming at him more so
Like this is a publicity stunt.
like you shouldn't. You too old to be getting into this type of trouble. The reason I say allegedly is because I don't know if it's a publicity stunt, but I'm starting to feel like a lot of rappers are pulling little stunts, like to either go to jail or that's either at jail just so that they could, they could be the topic of discussion and it'll boost their numbers. It'll make people want to be like, well, who is this? And look up their music. I don't know if this is the case about Fat Ye. I'm not saying that it is. I hope that it's not. But even if that's not the case, if it's not cap and it's not just like, something to flare a topic, then why are you continuously putting yourself in this position, especially when you got.
Well, let's talk about it. Bring us up on the big screen. Let's talk about it because I can take this quite simply and plain. First of all, as the headline would suggest, yes, it's publicity. I mean, duh. Don't we don't we make them famous when they go to jail or get locked up? We run their records up. We run their numbers up. We tell them we love them. We miss them. We start the free whoever it is campaigns. Jail has always been the sales tactic of a street artist. So I don't expect it to change anytime soon.
I mean, another thing I don't think people realize is how much money and marketing goes into that type of stuff, right? Because even with that YSL case and Young Thug and all that, do you realize how much more the courts are being paid because this case is going on? Like how much more money the courts are getting every week because of one, publicity, two, court fees and whatever. And these lawyers and public defenders get paid by the hour. So anytime they putting into these cases, they getting more money for it.
But y'all know the reality, right?
Yeah.
The reality is this. As a street artist, as a gangster rapper, as a trap artist, there's a certain LSA quoi to your lifestyle that you have to live.
Okay.
Well, with that lifestyle, you may get away with it today, you may get away with it tomorrow, but eventually it catches up with you. I mean, if you rap about being out on the block, providing the city with drugs, being a killer, being a gangster, and you're doing it actually to feed the persona, well, that stuff is actually illegal in the real world. So
right. So the other thing
fantasy
that I like, the other thing I noticed that Fat Ye said was that he would rather go to jail than end up dead. And to me,
right.
that sentence makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know his whole situation, or what I'm saying, even what's going on in his street life. But if he feels like whatever, I could do some time rather than be out on these streets and end up dead, then what you're doing makes sense then. Like, I don't know everything that you're doing.
But why are those the only two options for
That
black?
sounds to me like, yeah, that sounds even worse.
Why are those the only two options for black men nowadays? Like,
Well, no, I didn't say those were his
like,
only two options, but
I mean, I know he's trying to, and a lot of guys want to still have this bravado about themselves, but at some point, like, what are you teaching the youngins? And he hangs with nothing but youngins. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know, but that was a lot of what I saw in the comments as well. It's just crazy. I just
Well,
feel
don't hate the man when we feed the ego.
right.
I don't know. I feel like he could have been out of here so long ago. I feel like I enjoy his music. I think that he has talent, and I don't understand why he hasn't.
Why do we keep saying this?
Right.
Talent is 10% of the game.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, look, put it like this, right? This is Boss Biz Radio. For all y'all that don't know, you own Boss Biz Radio, right? But imagine if I came here on this podcast every week and set like this.
Well, like what? Like, is this stirring content?
I mean, like when people would be like, "Yeah, we know he could do it." Like it's a lot of things that got to be done. It's not just having the talent that gets you through.
Mhm.
Like the business side, don't be right on half of the artists for real.
More than half.
And honestly, the grind is not worth to half of these artists that are out there making. Let's just be real. If they're making real money, and let's just put it on a poor man's level, right? A poor man's level. If you make $1,000 a day, rather it be $1,000 a day, what motivation do you have to invest and to start the grind to see if your dreams really come true? Right now, you're living the dream. Everyone is loving your music and telling you you're it, and you're making money. So why do we care? They have no incentives to leave. There's no incentives to leave the streets or any type of lifestyle. Even new rappers still get caught up in that because a signing bonus don't mean I get to live good. Like there's so many other bills that have to be paid. Now,
you just reminded me of the other post that I saw this week where Kevin Hart was saying that it's boring to be rich by yourself. Like if you can't make money with the other people or the other people on your team aren't making money with you, you're going to be bored. You know what I'm saying? Like if the other people on your team aren't financially, you know what I'm saying, getting to where you're going, even if they're not doing the same thing, you know what I'm saying, playing their part or doing something else, if they're not doing it with you,
it's more so the people you associate with. Because at a certain point, like you'll want to move to a different level and everybody can't go where you're going because they can't pay what they weigh, or
if ain't nobody around you, then elevated you or your situation and you stay there because you feel like you're on top of that situation, then it's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this next question is: being a rapper a dangerous profession, or do rappers put themselves in dangerous situations? Huh.
Let me just explain to you that rapping in the booth is not dangerous. What happens outside of there can be dangerous. So I do believe that rappers put themselves in situations. I never heard of a rapper who's on his job doing his thing every single day die in the studio while doing his job. It's always the stuff that outline. Even with Tupac back in the day, it was the fights, it was the other stuff that was happening outside of the music and the rap. So I do think the rappers putting themselves in those situations, but sometimes it's for the attention because you're like, oh, I'm trying to get attention to my music, I'm trying to get publicity or whatever it is. But I do believe that you put yourself in dangerous situations.
Correct. I mean, it's crazy because I want to say any profession is a dangerous profession if done wrong or the wrong person is mad about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why the term going postal is a term. I mean, the working at the post office is apparently dangerous. Well, there's a story about people that work at the iPhone building having a history of killing themselves.
I
Well,
heard that.
is working at iPhone a dangerous profession? You know what I'm
No,
saying?
they're saying that a lot of them are
Yeah.
mentally unstable, and that Apple is a terrible place to work. Like I heard that the way that you're treated there is terrible.
I mean, yeah, like at the end of the day, any profession can be dangerous, right? What is the
Mhm.
safest profession that we can think of?
Oh, them work from home jobs where
Yeah.
you ain't got to fuck with nobody.
Well, I mean, is that the safest job? Home evasions
Safest.
happen every day.
Listen, you're right. Dangerous shit happens, but you're safe in the comfort of your home. You ain't gotta go nowhere. You ain't even gotta worry about nothing. Nobody's hot breath, nothing else.
That
You're
part
safe.
I don't agree with because at any given day, anything can happen on your phone. But
Is there a gangster R&B artist that has been killed?
A gangster R&B artist?
Yeah, is there a gangster R&B artist that has been killed,
You
or a
really
gangster country artist
you put on
that
this
has
fucking
been
suit
killed,
and ask some difficult ass questions. Don't know why. Hold on, man.
or
Gang-
or a huh? Well, I guess this next question there isn't a gangster gospel rapper. Could there be somebody going gangster for Jesus?
yes, there are people going gangster for Jesus.
So, so I guess like it's crazy because I don't think that rap is a dangerous profession. You know what I'm saying? Like rappers are not like it's not like every rapper is under attack and in jeopardy of dying. Like you said, the situations that you put yourself in is what creates the danger. Or don't put yourself in is what creates the danger.
Yeah, I think being a rapper is a dangerous profession. I don't think rappers put themselves in dangerous situations. I think just the term rapper just puts you being considered a rapper just puts you in danger. Most people that consider themselves artists seem to live a lot longer.
Wow. Wow. Now, what you just did was crazy because hip hop rappers ain't under attack. No one's going to attack Common like rappers. It, it's really the the jewels, the money, the flashiness of it that that puts a target on your back. Cause listen. I mean, besides the broke rappers that really get killed for like talking bullshit in their lyrics, and when you go back and listen to some of their lyrics, right, it's like I'm gonna see an op and I'm gonna run down on him. If I catch him, I'm gonna hit him with the switch. I don't care. His mama's a bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, I'm leaving his body all up in the ditch. You like, damn, what's going on? If the
Hey,
ops
this
come
is
on my
this
tip,
is
I'm
this.
like, Jesus. You feel me? So when you look at them, they're broke and they're talking what do we call it? I guess I like to call it taunting rap like that, right? That's
Trolling.
different. That's different. You're not seeing like big time artists really get taken out like that, man. Cause they know I'm a high security. I'm a move around and do this. So nah, man, it's the dangerous situations that they put themselves in, man.
No,
Look at
And
even when you be looking at the backstories, they get taken out in the dumbest ways.
not
You
only
see
the
that
dumbest,
rapper post?
I don't think they always put themselves in those situations. I think sometimes they fall up and trip up and end up in the situations and then don't know how to get out of it.
Really?
Yes.
So you see the
Yes,
artist that
sir.
posted this
All right,
week?
I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you a perfect example, right? Bam,
Yes.
an artist is chilling, mind his business. He finished performing off tour. Groupie hoes come up to him and they're like, "Oh my gosh, hey, your music was so good. I'm a fan." And he's like, "Oh man, cool." So he's trying to take one of these groupie hoes back to the hotel room. Then he
Mm-hmm.
does, and next thing you know, he wakes up the next day with a police statement written on him saying that he tried to kill her. And you're saying some wild shit.
I
That's
thought
That
his
shit can't
fault.
happen.
he was
I've
gonna
seen it.
But that's
I've seen it happen. I've seen it.
so that's a dangerous situation.
It could put you in a dangerous situation because
That's back
now
to what I said.
considered a
you see what I'm saying.
rapper.
But he didn't mean to get put in a dangerous situation. He just slipped up and was like, "Oh shit!" Now it's danger.
But if he was never considered a rapper, he would have never been in that situation to have a
Nah, if he wasn't a smut chaser in every city, if he chose to
He
go to back to
wasn't.
his hotel room or get back on his bus, or let's say I don't know, hit the studio and work on some music in the city with a new
You know what I'm
artist,
saying?
maybe he wouldn't be in those situations. Maybe he
maybe.
wouldn't have woke up as an attempted murderer or a murderer. He would have woke up a murderer of a beat as opposed to a murderer of some cheeks. And that's on him.
That's on him. That's why I'm saying if he's in the studio on his job, it's not dangerous. I feel like it's the things outside that make it dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you're working at Giant and your job is just to unload the boxes, it's safe. They trained you. They taught you how to unload the boxes properly. What could
Right.
happen is it could get dangerous if somebody else didn't have the boxes loaded up properly and you open the back of the truck and all the boxes fall on you, you die.
You know what I thought you was about to say?
No, I
I
don't
thought you
know.
was about to say. I thought you was about to say opening boxes could get dangerous if some hoes walk up and you want to take one back to your room, and then you wake up the next morning and the police is there talking about you trying to murder her, and all you want to do was fucking unload boxes. I mean, you don't have to follow those hoes back to you.
Yes, that too. That too.
I guess what I'm trying to say is you don't have to always bring the hoes back to your room. Just chill on it. Grasshopper tacos.
You
Now,
vegan?
first of all, let me tell you that's disgusting. That's disgusting. Second of all,
Wait, why it gotta be disgusting?
second of all, I do feel like I was reading something where it said that bugs is a healthy choice for nutrients and protein if you're in the woods or if you're deserted.
Oh yeah,
And
grasshoppers will help you like shit.
Oaxacan grasshopper.
I am never. This is what in the Timon and Pumbaa is happening.
Actually, not bad. Very crunchy. Would we get it again? Only if you pass the tequila. Would you try a Oaxacan
He said
grasshopper
if you
taco?
pass the tequila, would you try a grasshopper taco? So, all right, if that's our question, will we try a grasshopper taco? No.
You would.
I don't know. Like he said, tequila. I don't think there's enough tequila and or weed in the world that would make someone present me a grasshopper entree.
If they tell you about all the healthy benefits that you get from this.
Okay. Now I'm not gonna lie to you. Give me some. Give me some good healthy options that you think would make me eat a grasshopper. Like if they told me what would give me something that you would think they would have to pass me. I mean,
It's
besides they
high in
telling me,
protein,
mm,
high in fiber. It
steak,
will keep your energy up. It's better than drinking
wheat
the
bread,
Red Bull. Do you know that Red
Red
Bull
Bull.
has a Taurus
Yeah,
come in it?
he's vegan. Would you try them?
Right, you're a
That's
vegan. Yeah, they only eat grass, so it's got to be. That's right up your alley. Grasshopper,
no, it's not up my
grass,
alley. That's not in
vegan.
my alley. That's not up my alley.
What,
Fruits and vegetables are up my alley. That's it.
bro? You eat a
That's not a fruit
salad.
or vegetable.
Me.
You
That's
eat
what
a
Not a
salad
salad.
though.
But that's not a salad. That's not a leaf.
It's grass, a grasshopper.
it's not
It's not
me.
even grass. It's the hopper part. You understand what I'm saying? If it was grass, I'd be like, oh, okay, grass. But it's the hopper part that turned it into an animal. I'm not fucking with it.
Facts. Okay. Once it lives and has legs, you can't eat it. Thank you to Peter. Jezebel, would you try? Now we know that you're a Hennessy drinker. So he said enough tequila, he'd do it again. But with some Hennessy, maybe would you try the grasshopper taco?
Okay. So for 3 days, I sat and I imagined. And I got all the way up until I put the taco in my hand. And I was like, do you know what it looks like when you squish a bug?
Mm.
Could you imagine all that milk in your mouth?
Like, it's crazy because I wanted to tell those people that the grasshoppers was disgusting. It's the taco seasoning that you're used to. Like, I guess if you, so that brings up, you know, when people like it tastes like chicken, right? How was the frog legs? It tastes like chicken, and it's like, well, how'd you cook it? Well, you know, you season it up just like you do chicken. And it's like, well, if you put all the chicken seasoning on it, because a chicken does not taste like that if you don't put seasoning on it. It's disgusting.
Just wait a second. Hold on. So Six, would you eat calamari?
No. I have tried it though. I have tried it.
You've tried it.
Yes.
You eat shrimp?
I eat shrimp all day, baby. All day, baby.
And you eat crab?
Yes, and lobsters.
They eat
Crab
damn
and
babies.
lobster.
I don't care.
But
Yes.
you won't eat a grasshopper.
Well, you know why I won't eat a grasshopper?
Like,
No,
how
I
does
don't.
that even equate to?
Right. I look at the things like this, right? Growing up as a kid, there was like this little chart. And when you go in the grocery stores and you look at all the like pictures that are on the stuff and things like that, which you could put seasonings on, I've never seen a picture of a grasshopper seasoning. So it lets me know that it's not edible. I haven't never seen a roach seasoning. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, they're not meant to eat. They put a fish on there. There's an Old Bay season with a big ass crab on it and chicken. So those things tell me I can eat these things.
Oh my God. I've never seen a roach.
No, I'm just saying, if someone would have put, if someone,
We probably got roach seasoning in other countries.
could you imagine being in the grocery store and saying like, seasoning, make your roaches taste great.
Yeah, they got lemon pepper for roaches. They got lemon pepper and lime pepper.
Bruh, I'll be like, what in the goddamn Joe's apartment is this?
Yeah.
No, sir. No, sir. But there are bugs in a lot of the products that we consume every day. If you didn't know, go ahead and look up some of the products that have bugs in them. I must say, I was disgusted. Some of those products, when I found out, I don't consume them anymore, and some of them is just hard to resist. It's the idea, though. It's the idea. No. Where they getting the grasshoppers from? Is someone going outside and catching them?
Yeah.
Whew, that's a tough job.
Your local
That's a tough job.
Grasshoppers and then getting it back so that y'all can eat them.
Y'all want to know what my biggest question is? Who was the person that first sat down and said, because you know when you say I want to open up a restaurant and you come up with the plan, and it's like we all sitting around, we're like, yeah, let's open a restaurant, and it's like, okay, bet, what we gonna serve? Who yelled out grasshoppers?
Well, it's a Mexican restaurant, and that's a dish that they have in that part of Mexico.
Well, you know what? Ain't them the same people that put like a worm in there, tequila and shit like that?
Mm-hmm. Listen,
yeah,
I'm
so
tell you what happened. I know exactly what happened. They were sitting there. They was like, we're gonna open up this restaurant. We need to find something cheap, fast, and efficient that we can serve. So what's that gonna be? And he was like, I don't know. We need some inspiration. Right, so they started rolling up the grass, and I'm talking about the other grass. You know what I'm saying? They started rolling up the grass, and then as they were sitting there in the grass, smoking the grass, they saw a grasshopper, and they was like, "I got it." And then they started putting the grasshoppers out there. You know what I'm saying? This all came from some high thoughts that they had.
Boy, you dumb as shit. But I agree with Mr. Jeremiah. Have the FDA approved that? Did they approve them to make that bug dish? And how much does that dish cost?
$9.
$9 motherfucking dollars.
Just like,
I ain't gonna lie, $9 don't even seem like nothing no more, man. That's like $1 now. $10 seem like $1 now.
$10 is $1. Like, okay.
Seem like it.
I cannot find this clip. I don't know what happened to it, but I want to talk about it anyway before I move
Let's talk about it.
Before I move on to some more triggering topics.
Trigger alert.
So our other races tired of Black people stealing from them and terrorizing neighborhoods. So here recently, there's been a lot of incidences where people of other races are assuming that Black people are stealing from them, hence
Allegedly.
trying to allegedly stealing from them. Hence, like, I don't know, I seen one video where it was a group of, I don't know, it was Arab guys or whatever. They was pinning down a 13-year-old boy, and I was just looking for it. I can't find it. But it was at a store, a mini mart or something somewhere in New Carrollton, Maryland. And then we have the instances where this old man just shot the 16-year-old boy that was simply at the wrong address. And then now you have another couple that allegedly was shot at because they pulled into the wrong driveway. We also have the case of, I think it was Ahmaud Arbery that was jogging in the wrong neighborhood, and white people assumed the worst, and it ended his life in tragedy as well. So I thought about it the other day, and I was like, well, what does the media portray? And when you think of crime, or when people speak of crime, what is it that they show? And this is what's shown all across the world. So imagine people in China come up, get their racism from what's shown in the media of us, or even just people around the world. Like, they only see us stealing and robbing and, just, what would they say, doing the worst. So when I seen this video the other day of a 13-year-old boy being tackled inside of the mini mart in New Carrollton, Maryland, the first thing that came to my mind is, well, they automatically assume, they assumed he was stealing because he's Black. Every time I go into a store, I'm followed or looked at. And I used to get mad about it. I really used to get upset about it. But I recently just came to terms with, they're just going to do this to me because people that look like me continue to steal and terrorize and rob and abuse these people and these business owners. So when I simply walk in there, just because my skin color looks like the rest of those heathens, I'm going to get followed. I'm going to get judged. I'm going to get questioned before even the opportunity to show my true self. And I mean, it's disheartening, but to me, it is what it is. Yes, it's sad that that little boy got tackled, but at the same time, I mean, if the other little boys in the neighborhood that look like him wasn't stealing every day, they wouldn't assume that. And let's just be honest, people of different races, they tend to look alike. Like, regardless, you just automatically assume, oh, they're all. And when you have a bad experience with one person of one race, and we could be 100% honest here, 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, you're going to be like, oh, whatever stereotype, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, those people are like that because of the experiences that you had with that specific race. So I'm going to give y'all the floor. But that really, it just struck a nerve in me. So,
what you got for me, Jay? What you think about that?
It's two things, because I look at things from different perspectives, right? And one, yes, I do agree. I feel like some people are just hurting people in the same category and saying all Black people are like this, and they're not. And I really think that we need to individualize people for what they're going through, for what their situations are. Two, I think it's just too far to go. If somebody is stealing some shit, to kill them is too fucking much. I just feel like that's too far.
I don't think
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think it's too far. Like, I understand. There's been times before when I've been like, damn, I left my card. Damn, I'm gonna have to steal this shit. Like, I wasn't really going out like I'm planning and plotting to steal, but I'm like, damn, I left my card. I need something. You know what I'm saying? So I had to.
So why don't you just leave and go get your card, or ask the person next to you, hey?
I'm not gonna get too it wasn't a situation where I can just leave and go get my card and everything.
So a petty crime was worth it.
Ask the person next to you to do it, and you'll Cash App them. Or Zelle them.
It wasn't a situation. Cash App did not exist at the time. I did not have a phone. I did not have Cash App.
So a petty crime was
a fucking way to eat. I was diabetic with a low blood sugar, about to pass out. I stole a fucking candy bar. Am I fucking wrong? Or am I supposed to be shot in the head or shot several times for stealing a candy bar because of my condition, because I'm a diabetic who was about to pass out and needed something to eat and didn't have his wallet on him?
Why didn't you just ask
because
the
of that?
manager?
No, that's too fucking much. That's too fucking much. Yes, I can ask somebody like, hey, can you get this for me? I'm diabetic. I don't have anything on me. Cool. Somebody will be happy to do that. If I saw somebody going through a situation, I'm like, oh shit, I got a food stamp card now. You need some food? Nigga, I got you. You don't need to steal this shit.
So when you realize, so when you got in the store, and I'm gonna paint this picture real quick. You got in the store.
You can't paint this picture because it's not your story.
No, I'm just trying to see.
I can paint the picture for you. You're not about to recreate. No, you're not about to put on this bullshit ass suit and repaint some Picasso shit that I ain't even fucking draw. Fuck no, you're not about to steal shit from me. You could do that.
Nah. It just sounds like you got up there to buy the candy bar, and you're having a diabetic moment, and you really need it. You realize you don't have your card, and you just rips it open and just devour it right there to save your life.
Is that what happened?
I'm gonna give him that much of the painting. I'm not giving him too much of this painting. This can't.
No, I'm just asking: is that what happened?
Yes.
Okay, that was the picture that I was painted. That was painted right there. Like you was looking for your card and you realized you didn't have. You just like fuck this.
No, I'm sorry. I saw you with this suit on. I wasn't sure what type of painting.
And I'm in my suit today. This is everything professional. Okay. Let me address this topic here, right? Because I'm one of those people that always like to think about this outside the box.
Okay.
And I used to believe in racism heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I used to believe that people were racist, and I still believe that there's racism in this world.
I do
but
too.
I'm more inclined to follow the word poorism. People are afraid of people that look poor. No, listen.
You're right. You're right. Broke niggas make me nervous.
No, listen. I'm trying to tell you, bro. Listen, like in the day, they went after the Africans and made them slaves because they assumed they had less, they had nothing, and people just didn't want to teach them anything, didn't want to give them anything. But there was always, you could trace in every story, that smart black man who walks amongst them. Mm-hmm. Just like he was white, because he knew something. He had money. He was smart, like he had a job, he had a business or whatever. But he walked amongst the white people. They wasn't afraid of him. They knew in that town to treat him like a mister. You see what I'm saying? But all the slaves, they knew them apart because they didn't look like they had money. A lot of them were able to walk as slaves underneath of the radar because someone got them and put them on a suit.
Right.
And they were like, oh, they must be free because they have on a suit. And they were whole slaves, like tied, scared as hell. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So when you look at today's world, because I used to be one of those people that was very poor. Every time I walked in the store, it was like a hurry up and buy you type feel. Like you got money. And then I got a little bit of money and I started like dressing differently to where it's like, you need anything, that's like the undercard we think you're gonna steal right there. You need any help? Like it's just a chip owl. I know what chips I want. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But as you get older, you don't even get that no more. You get the how you doing today? I mean, as you start looking like you got money and things like that, how you doing today? Anything else? Did you find everything okay? They don't even know. So hey, when you talk about property and stuff like that in a world where everyone is kind of like doing whatever they want to do, what did the government expect when they started giving us our rights to bear arms all over again? We were going to start protecting our property. We're not going to wait 30 minutes for 911 to get there and ask us a bunch of dumbass questions. And neither are these other races, especially when you got people like George Zimmerman who put on public display, I can kill a kid, say I was scared for my property, and walk right away. So what do we think these other races are going to do in this new world?
I mean, I'm just saying, I think it's bullshit and it's too far, whether somebody's stealing something or not, whether somebody came and knocked on the wrong door. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the shit is just
But why is it though, J Money? If you bought a car, a $60,000 car, let's put it like that, a $60,000 car, You walk outside, some young punk is in it, full body in it, about to pull off with it. Are you now? You're not a Tabo fighter. You've now took a class to give yourself a gun and protect yourself and your property. You see him in there. You're not about to walk up to him and say, "Hey, young man, you need a car?"
I'm not about to sit in my back seat either and shoot him 5 times in the back.
Okay, well let's talk about this old man that just shot the 16-year-old boy that just so happened to be at the wrong house.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Now I think we talked about it last week.
Yep.
And I still stand on what I said. I mean, like I said about the media, the news, and this like this climate, this racially I guess pushed climate to where everything is about race, and white people are just here attacking us, and black people are just looting and destroying property and stealing cars and killing each other and robbing people and acting like Amazon drivers and burglarizing people's houses and stuff like this. This is what other races see of us all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not defending any of their behavior. But what I'm saying is, like, ideally, if I would be a little, off my damn self, because what you see, it inflicts fear upon these people. So no, he wasn't right for shooting that kid, but at the same time, how we know that this kid wasn't there? We know that this kid wasn't there to rob him, but let's say it was someone else that was 16 that was actually coming there to rob him. Like, he doesn't know. How was he supposed to know?
Yeah.
Are you going to ask?
The great thing, I didn't realize this last week when we was talking about it, because I thought the boy died. I found out he wasn't dead. So they're going to find out, you know what I'm saying? Once he gets his consciousness back, they'll find out from his side of the story exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because that boy is not dead. I thought he was dead. Like, when they said shot in the head 2 times, I'm like, oh, I thought he was dead.
No, he was shot in the head one time and shot in the chest another time. So that's an instance right there. He walked up to the man's door. The man automatically knows, like, oh my gosh, it's a black young man in my neighborhood. He got to be here to rob me. Why else is he here? Like, and that's sad that that's what people think of us when they see us. Let's go to Ahmaud Arbery, jogging in the wrong neighborhood. They automatically look at him like, oh, well, he's not supposed to be here. He must be stealing copper out of this house or stealing something. Like, he got to be here stealing something. You know, this is the narrative that the media paints of us and that we paint of ourselves. So I'm not taking up for any of these other people.
I want to challenge anybody. I want to challenge everybody, though. Subscribe to other races, other areas. Subscribe to their news, and it'll revive the way you feel about just black crime. Period, because you'll start to see that that's what we subscribe to: urban news, black news. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're gonna give it to us like that. I seen a news report about a white man. A white 23-year-old stabbing a 11-year-old boy with his 13-year-old friend because the boy called him an NPC. This is white on white news. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's type of stuff that don't get reported.
Hold on, what is an NPC? That's what I know.
It's like a non-playable character.
Oh yeah, I did see
it's
something
a bot.
like that.
Yeah, when somebody like the computer.
we get this is every day. People are crazy. Poor people are willing to do anything because they're emotional. People too emotional these days. So that's what's happening.
I do think people are overly sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the stuff that I was like, it's been going on for years, but I think now that we have social media, some of these people didn't realize this stuff's been going on for so long. And now they're like, oh, I want to make some noise about this. And I'm like, this been going on since I was like 4. Like, what's she talking about? This ain't new.
Yeah, but it's crazy because has it. As you get more and more information, you find out, oh, there's more people like this. So, yeah.
And let me tell you something else that I didn't realize either, that, like, sometimes it's okay to talk about your story because you're not the only one going through that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought I was the only one who was diabetic. I was talking to my other friend. I was like, wait, you're diabetic? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of good to know that somebody else is dealing with stuff that you're dealing with. So don't be scared to share and tell your story. It's also kind of empowering, and it might help uplift some people.
Facts.
Yeah, definitely. But then you got some people that try to use your secrets against you, and you just got to be cautious of those people too.
You
so
do. This is
share
true.
what you will, but be cautious of what you may.
Facts.
Share wisely.
What we got
All right,
next?
so next up, guys. Next topic is actually going to be real triggering. Okay, it's going to be real triggering for some people out here. I'm skipping along. I don't think I even brought it up here, but give me 1 second before we get to that. Let's talk about Chloe Bailey gets her day in ATL. What do you guys think about that?
Shout out Chloe.
Who's clapping?
Congratulations.
I can't see.
ATL really loves taking care of its own, man. They take care of its own.
You know how many Atlanta artists ain't get their day? We're not gonna talk about that.
What they done? What they done?
What has she done? What has she done?
Be an icon.
How? To who?
To a lot of young women out there today that are aspiring to be like Chloe Bailey.
Star?
A what?
A porn star?
Oh, what? Oh, what?
You heard what I said.
You're a professional actor here.
You a porn star. You heard me.
Oh my God.
They could have gave it to her sister. At least her sister have a lot more respect for herself.
The Little Mermaid ain't even came out yet.
Well, we like the Little Mermaid.
It ain't came out yet. Chloe on fire this year. Chloe is on fire. Did you hear her new album?
Wait, she's a porn star?
Oh what? Oh what?
You heard.
All right. What I'm not gonna do is allow the Chloe Bailey slander. She's from the house of B, and y'all know how I be about that. So let's keep it at a minimum, and let's just say congratulations. I mean, listen, to get a day, what do you have to do? Donate, take care of your city, always give back.
Well, they said people are buying it now. All you got to do is have a little bit of money.
Okay. Well, someone needs to let me know how much a day costs. I'm looking to buy one. Will this day be celebrated like Wiz Khalifa Day?
You can get a stage and everything. I can tell you about it. I can hook you up with the right person.
Yeah, I think Lil Nas X got a day. I think Lil Nas X got a day down here too. I mean, if you're from here and you achieve things and you stay out of trouble and you inspire the youth, you get a day. That's how Atlanta play.
Okay.
Now I don't like the Janet Jackson meme. Janet Jackson doesn't have a day. Let's go on. I won't accept any more Chloe Bailey slander.
I'm just saying, what did she do?
Y'all going while Swarm. For all y'all that haven't seen Chloe Bailey, going while Swarm, she's in that. And also go listen to her new album, Pieces. Don't be like DJ Envy.
Is she in Praise This? That's her in Praise This, right?
Yes, that is. Big year. Big year for Chloe. Big year coming up. Big year. Big year. Big year. Now listen. This next headline right here, y'all. If I gotta admit, this one came as quite a shocker. It even threw me for a loop to even just think about it. But then I started going down the lyrics of some of their songs. Now, if you look at a couple of their titles, it would behoove you to understand that maybe, just maybe, they were telling us all along that they were snitches. Killing
Wait,
me
is it they or
softly.
just him? Is it all of them or just him?
Ready or not,
Here I come.
take it easy. There's another one here by his good friend Gone Till November. And of course, if you look at some of Praz's titles of his own songs, he may have even told us that he was dropping dimes. Now, this isn't crazy to me, but when you think about it, is this something that a lot of rappers are keeping secret?
What, being confidential informant?
Informant though? Hold on, wait. Fuji's member Pras admits that he was an FBI informant and faces 22 years in prison for conspiracy to serve as an unregistered agent of China after accepting $100 million.
That means he was going to be a spy and tell everything.
For China.
Yep. 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 Now, I ain't going to lie to you, Young. For the Flickr artists, for the ghetto superstar artists here, when you guys think about it, I'm not surprised. I want all the artists to man up. Tell us who else is on that list with them, man. Who else on that list with them?
Listen, I'm a little confused, and that's why I was looking, because I thought it was just Pras. Is it the whole Fugees?
Listen, if one admits to it, do you think that they were like a couple of times like he was late and they were like, "Where were you, man?" And he was all sweaty like, "Me, don't worry about it. Let's go, keep going." And he had just got finished snitching.
I'm just saying. I don't know, because I don't know how the snitching stuff works.
Yeah, now it just says Pras was a snitch. Well, was an informant. Now, I don't want to use the word snitch because we don't know who he snitched on, or who he informed on, or what he told. But I guess, yeah, by him admitting to that, I'm wondering why did he admit to it? Was it to get him less time, to show what he was done, to show he had already helped in making some arrests? But yeah, when I started listening and thinking about it, I'm like, damn, man, is he the first? Is that worse than 6ix9ine? 6ix9ine, at least he did it, and we all knew this man did it without us even knowing. He just got us.
Can you imagine how many other rappers or artists could be informants right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think about. But can you imagine how many artists have sat around him and just talked freely in 22 years? In 22 years, right now when he admitted to this, do you know how many artists went to thinking, "Damn, what did I say to him?"
I bet.
Did we say? Did I tell him?
I wish they wish that shit had that iPhone update where you can unsend a message. Get that shit the fuck up out of here.
Yeah, man.
Nope, I ain't repeating shit. Nope.
So I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Like, are people gonna still listen to Pras? Are we gonna stop listening to Pras like we stopped listening to 6ix9ine, all except DJ Flex?
Hold on, say that one more time.
Will we stop listening to Pras like we stopped listening to 6ix9ine, all of us except DJ Flex?
Oh, hip hop police. That's the son of the police.
But why do people say the hip hop police?
Oh, there's a hip hop police.
What are they called?
The Men in Black.
Oh, the FCC or some shit?
No, I honestly don't know what they call, but I do feel like it's like
it's probably a task force that listens to rap music for sure.
it's not a task force like how we think of it, but there are certain people who would like put a cap on you, or like, you know what I'm saying, like your music won't go anywhere because the hip hop police got you. It's certain names like Jada Prince, you know what I'm saying? It's like certain names that you'll know and be like, oh yeah, if you cross this person, you're not gonna do nothing. Or you know what I'm saying? Like crossing certain DJs, not gonna get you nowhere. So they call certain people hip-hop police. But no, it's
Well,
not like
I would assume that the hip hop police would be the type of people that's listening to your lyrics to lock your dumb ass up for saying shit. They got
they got a whole nother motherfucker for that. These motherfuckers who go back and listen to lyrics and try to use this shit against the rappers in court and shit. There's somebody for that.
Have you ever been under attack by hip hop police?
For my lyrics?
Yeah.
The police.
I can imagine it. Sometimes your lyrics are so just. Sometimes your lyrics just take me away, J Money. They're just so gross sometimes.
They got me.
Yucky.
They got me on the West Coast, but yes.
Good. You need good parental advisory warning on that guy.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning. If you are sensitive, go ahead and head on out.
I'd like to head out of this segment
because this is about to get serious. Now, y'all know me, ratchet conservative, you know, pro-black at heart sometimes, you know, and also very analytical when it comes to things, religion, history, etc. I pretty much question any and everything.
Yep.
So I finally ran into somebody or some content the other day where I realized I wasn't crazy. Okay.
Talk to me.
Now, we were taught so many things growing up. About Christianity, about slavery, about our history. And some of us never really questioned it. We kind of just like, oh, yeah, that happened. But never more than what the media kind of shows us. We don't really think about it. So Chaotic, I think his name is Chaotic Truth. He did a panel with some people. And when I tell you, I'm disappointed in the Black women that were on this panel, because if 6 Black women could sit up there and just be like that, it's an embarrassment to the entire nation of Black women. I mean, they were an embarrassment, honestly. They did not debate well enough with him. But I'm going to play this clip, and we're gonna discuss as I play these clips, because I'm gonna come in and out just so that you guys can hear what's going on, because he had some very, very interesting questions. So this.
I'm so scared I'm gonna say the wrong shit.
I'm telling you. First of all
right, hold on. Let me see if I could share it another way so that it's not doubling our voices. Hold on one second. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police.
I mean, like, it's crazy to ask what slavery would it seems. I really want to see this clip, but to be quite honest, I don't know if we all know the same stories of slavery. Everybody got different like stories and different things about it.
That's what I'm saying too.
All right, you guys, I'm gonna need y'all to mute yourselves.
Anything without pay is definitely not cool.
I got so much shit up.
Africans were supposedly bought over on those boats. Can I just ask you a question? What did they drink? When the Africans were supposedly bought over on those boats, can I just ask you a question? What did they drink?
Can y'all hear that? Did
y'all hear that? Hear good. Yeah.
Okay.
Let it ride.
So what do you think? What do you guys think that the Africans drank while they were on the slave ships coming from Africa to the New World?
The same thing the slavers drank. The slave owners drank. The same thing the catchers drank. Water.
So you believe that they were fed and they were
Yes.
given water to survive?
I believe they were rationed. Yes.
Why?
Because they were valuable. They were money. So they did what they had to do to cash in. It's just like carrying over a sheep, herd, or whatever. You're gonna make sure they survive to get them sold.
Okay, so let me ask you another question. And I'm asking everybody here in the comments as well. Do you guys believe that the colonizers went into these African countries with a huge net and just captured a whole bunch of Africans, put them on a boat, brought them to America, and made them slaves?
I personally have already debunked that and know that that's not the case. It was more so a trade situation and an agreement to go in and get certain people.
J Money, what you think?
What do I think about this whole situation, or just this?
No, what do you think about slavery? How do you think slavery started? Do you think that a whole bunch of colonizers went into Africa and forced people on a ship to come to America to enslave them?
No, it was trickery in the trade. Like even today, it still happens till this day, right? And that's why a lot of people don't realize it. But like the papers, it's in the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Like they probably were like, "Oh, okay, cool, we'll sign this," and then it wasn't what, you know what I'm saying? And what this is not what the fuck we signed up for. You know what I'm saying? Like I really think that's how it happened. And then if you was asking me what they drunk on the ship, I thought they had some Kool-Aid with too much sugar.
Go ahead, bro. Ain't no way you thinking that. No damn.
Nah,
But what I am saying though is, at the end of the day, if the way that it worked, the way that they told it, and I believe it, is it got to a point where it became more lucrative to not keep going across the water and getting them.
Mhm.
And they began to take slaves from America. And
Right.
that's when slavery became a problem. Right? It was always about money, and it was always about the cultivation of earth and its resources.
Mhm.
And Africans knew how to do that well, but the one thing they didn't have was protection from actual weapons.
Right.
So I believe that if a white man walks into a village, shoots one, and tells you, "We'll give you these if you give us 10 of them," and the other 10 that have gotten taken know that this device that you're holding can kill us faster than a spear without you having to get close to us, that's enough to make me, as a fearful African, do whatever you say.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Y'all ever play telephone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
The message don't never come back right.
And that's the same thing with stories. Any type of stories that's passed down from history. Everything that was told to you probably 400 or 500 years ago then trickled down and probably got manipulated. A few words changed here and there, all the way down to where we are today. Okay.
Right.
Let me ask you guys a question. I'm sure you guys have seen different movies, but by any chance, does it come across your mind that maybe colonizers went into Africa and said, "Hey, we know of a new place over here where you could work, you could grow your own crops. We even got these shiny tools here to protect you from the wild animals. You just have to, once you get there, you pay us off and then you could be free or whatever, or not even free. You just pay us what you owe us for bringing you to this new land, this new world where you can live out your wildest dreams."
Right.
You guys don't think that maybe the colonizers proposed that option?
I mean, they could have still done. I believe that option could have been on the table for a lot of people, right? As well. But the reality of it is, if if I if I know if I know a tactic works, right? Then I'll just utilize that tactic. If I know that I can go over here and tell these people who have no knowledge of what's going on over here anything, and once I get them here, it's nothing that they can do. It's no different than, I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but it's no different than when a man pulls up in a playground and tells kids, I have candy, and one of them kids hop in his car and now they're kidnapped. Like, if you don't have knowledge, if you're not understanding, if you're not prepared to defend yourself, the likelihood of you being taken and taken for advantage of is high.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do you one better. Have you seen any movies where they have like these massage parlors, these Asian massage parlors, or just Asian shops or whatever, and they have women working back there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I ain't seen that in the movies. I seen that in College Park. They got that shit up the street.
Do you see these nail salons where the man comes in maybe at the end of the shift or during the shift and collects all the money and walks to the back or walks out, or
Yep.
there's always a man in there watching and looking around?
Yep. Yep.
So in some eyes, those people will be considered slaves, in which they were brought over here and now they have to work to pay off the people that brought them here. And I know you guys seen the movies where women be like, I can't leave. They'll kill my whole family. They'll kill me. They'll kill my whole family. It's another form of slavery. So does it ever probably come across anyone's mind that maybe this could have happened as well? I'm not saying that it happened for everybody, but just imagine I bring you over to this new world. I set you up nice. I tell you, hey, you have to work from sun up to sundown, pay me back my money for maybe 3 or 4 years. And you get tired after the first year and you're like, man, to hell with this. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Tell me no. You
No. The reality of it is, young,
go to hell, but
as crazy as it is, right?
I don't think that could have possibly been a situation. Like, yes, some were kidnapped, but what about the ones that voluntarily came over here and then they didn't want to live up to the end of the bargain? Like, what do you think happened to them? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to go ahead and play this because I was surprised that, there was someone else out here. I ain't crazy. There was someone else out here that kind of, like to analyze things a little bit more. So let me go ahead and finish playing this clip. Whew. I cracked myself up.
Terrible.
Oh, shit. Let me stop before I get canceled.
Terrible.
Oh, man.
I'm in my suit. I can't laugh with you. I'm in my suit.
Right. A lot of them died, though. It's a known fact. A lot of them died. A lot of them
What did the Africans drink? You think they just drank piss for 7 to 8 weeks at sea?
So what's your point? Are you saying that it didn't happen? Like, what's your point?
I am saying that they didn't drink. I did. They did. Okay. It has everything to do with the whole ancestor thing. Everything about the past may not be what it really was. All I'm saying is that you got to start asking questions. They didn't drink the salt water. What did they eat at sea? Nobody ever talks about that. What did they really eat? That's a good question. What did they eat?
Are we serious right now? Are we really doing this?
What did they eat?
In Twilight Zone? This is crazy.
Ma'am, what did they eat?
This is Twilight Zone tonight, Dana. It is.
Are you saying that we just need to study more overall as a people?
Yes, that's all I was saying. Yes, thank you, ma'am.
All right. I kind of agree with you.
I just don't believe that blacks were just so downtrodden and oppressed. I just don't believe that. I don't think that our ancestors were getting punked out like that. I'm sorry. I have
a question for you, Kara, because you did the research. You said you did the research.
I have a degree in African studies. I have a underwater basket weaving degree. Yes.
So what did your research tell you? Did it not happen or it did happen?
The way that I have concluded, and I wrote papers on this, is that slavery has been largely over-exaggerated.
But did it happen?
Yes, there was slavery because slavery has always been a part of human history. There is slavery going on right now. There is oppression going on right now.
Were there
Are you-
Africans that were taken from Africa and brought here to the United States or at the New
I
Land?
believe, listen, now this is what I believe. I
what he
believe
believes.
that a lot of the Africans voluntarily came to the New World. Now, I'm going to tell you why. Hear me out for a minute. Just hear me out.
Yo, these women they're so mad because he's just like, I mean, just think about it.
He's using logic.
No,
like-
I'm mad too. I'm mad at him too. Because he's let me tell
Well,
you.
you're about to get madder because I got more clips, more trigger clips.
Yeah, he's stupid. He's
No,
stupid.
he's not. He makes perfect sense. Let him finish. Let him finish.
The Negroes in Africa were tribalistic. Even to this day, they're tribalistic. They have all these languages. Even in Nigeria, it's hundreds of different languages. They never got along. Somebody came along, in my opinion, and said, hey, there is better opportunity in the new world. This new world has resources, it has open land, etc. You won't have to be around your neighbors. Just like how blacks are now. Black people don't like living around each other now.
Okay,
So what I'm saying is it possible
Is it?
that the Africans, hear me out, that large numbers
I'm
of
laughing
Africans,
because I live in Baltimore, but go ahead.
is it possible that large numbers of Africans willingly came to the New World? That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's fine. So
Is it possible?
I'm gonna ask you.
Is it possible?
I'm gonna ask you a question real quick, Jezebel, because
Is it possible?
you're a traveler. J Money, you're a traveler. You guys have taken cruises before?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Now on a cruise, let's just say a 7-day cruise, right? A 7-day cruise. How many islands would you say you hit? 2 or 3?
4 or 5, depending on which cruise line you go on.
4 or 5. So where is his logic that they have to survive 7 to 8 weeks at sea? Because they're just going from Africa to a port in North America. One spot there and back. Why is that taking 7 weeks? In today's
Do you
world,
know how long the Atlantic Ocean, how the flight is 8 hours, bro?
from your first
to West Africa, the flight is 16 hours the way that it goes. But it shouldn't be no more than 10 hours, the flight. So imagine back then, the boats, they didn't have machine boats like the Titanic, like how we have now. They had them old ass sailboats, wherever the wind blows, we're kind of going across the sea, or however that goes, maybe an arc. But they have the wheel pedal. But just imagine that's going to take, especially if they're coming from the coast of South Africa, West Africa, that's going to take a good month or 2.
So
with the currents too.
Again, I'm gonna go with it. But from the minute that when I got on my boat, it took me a day to get from America to Haiti. That was a straight shot. I mean, we didn't make any stops. Yes, we had a power boat. We had a big cruise ship. We didn't have any things stopping us in the way. Nothing stopped. We didn't stop in the middle for everyone had to take bathroom breaks and things like that. Yes, but it took a day. So I'm going to go and say that let's say it took 7 to 8 weeks on this voyage. He's assuming that these people who were strategically thinking of how to get people didn't think of a way to get them over here and think of a way to keep them alive while they did it.
Well, what he's saying is, and I think what he's saying is what I'm saying, and I think maybe that's what we don't agree on, is that some of those Africans wanted to come to the New World. Everybody wasn't forced on that ship and beaten and chained and trapped to get on that ship. Some people actually wanted to explore the New World. Go ahead, J Money.
No, I was agreeing with you, but I think that they were tricked and manipulated. You know what I'm saying? No. Like both of y'all said this, just like Sixxcess was saying, how they tried to trick a kid in the car with the candy. If you don't know, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, sure.
But I don't agree.
Let's play the game though.
I don't agree with that because unless you really visited a third world country and what the possibilities of better would be, or talk to people that come from really messed up areas and they'll do anything just to be somewhere new,
Right.
then you would kind of probably see it from my perspective. The way I look at it is, especially when it comes to the Asians, like it's big in the Asian community. People want to come to the new world, right?
Yeah, no,
So
I agree.
they will say, hey, just get me over there. I don't have much money, but when I get there, I will work and pay it off. Right. And then they get here and they start working and they start getting Americanized and now they want to do their own thing. And what happens? They get checked, they get beaten, they get scared, their family gets kidnapped until they work and pay their money off. So in my eyes, maybe some Africans agreed to come over here and they didn't want to fulfill their terms.
No,
Maybe
you're 100% right.
Maybe some people were tricked into coming over here because the other ones they had to kill for being lazy. I don't know, but it's something to explore. Now,
it's really not though, right? Because when you think about it, your logic is perfect. Your logic makes perfect sense. Obviously, there were people who said, hell yeah, it's better over there. I want to go over there. But then that would also explain slavery and its delegation. House niggas, field niggas, niggas that got to go and help catch the slaves. They got to get on that ship every once in a while and go back across Africa and spot the strong ones, or spot the good spots, so know where they would be, where they would go and be alone, where we could catch them. Yeah, those may have been the ones that would say, hold up, y'all doing what over there? Yeah, I'm trying to go. So yeah, that would explain a lot. But to imply what he's implying is bonkers. Because at the end of the day, if I said to myself, I want to catch and sell anything, I'm going to ask myself, how can I ensure that it gets here? I mean, even if they got on the boat willingly, are you still saying the people that got on there willingly didn't have anything to eat or drink? Well, hell, whatever they had to eat or drink, the slaves had to eat or drink too.
No, what he's saying is that the stories that's told in the history books is that these people were forced on the ship. They ain't have no food, no water. They had to eat and drink each other's feces just to stay alive to get to America. That's the story that's told in history books, right? Until you get older and you're like, well, hold on, maybe they need to keep their product alive, right? And that's what he's saying. He's saying we were taught that these people survived off their feces and their urine, but that's impossible because he's just saying it's impossible for that to be true. And he's agreeing with you that the colonizers fed the slaves. That's basically what he was saying. But even to your point, he said, you said that what he said was bonkers.
Yeah, they were fed scraps. They were fed whatever leftovers. They were treated like animals and whatever the case may be. And let me tell him the reality of it is a lot of those slaves indeed chose to starve, chose to jump off the boats and die at sea. A lot of them, however, when your will to survive comes in.
But how do we know this to be true?
That's
my whole thing. How do we know that people really like? How do we? One person probably jumped, and whoever wrote the story was like, people were jumping, they were killing themselves.
Okay, the reality of it is
we don't really know.
Yeah, but that part of the story is irrelevant, really. Because
no, it is relevant because it's how bad was slavery really? Was it as bad as we were taught it was?
Listen, at the end of the day,
feelings over something we believe our ancestors went through that probably was over exaggerated.
Now, all we gotta do is ask ourselves 3 questions: were they beat and forced to do something that they didn't want to do? Yes. Were they killed and ripped away from their families and forced to take on names that we didn't want? Yes.
How do we know that?
Did we not get any property or anything out of the deal and did most of the work in the building? Yes. Those are when we start asking ourselves the questions that really matter.
No, but how do we know that to be true? Who told? Just like the Bible. How do we know? You have to have faith. Like
The reality of it is,
I
but
look at history books like the Bible. The Bible
right,
is a history book, right? So
yeah,
how do you decipher what is really true or not? Or because you're taught to just have faith and believe, do you just have faith and believe in what what you believe your ancestors went through, as opposed to, okay,
what's crazy?
well,
It's crazy because this, right? We can only take our memories back to what we vividly can see and remember, right?
Okay.
Some of us were blessed enough to have great grandmothers, great great grandmothers still alive and tell them what they went through, or tell them their mama's stories and their mama's stories, right? To have that stuff, that history passed down to it. But then for the people that don't, let's just take your eyes right back to what you visually can see when TVs and stuff was on. I
but
mean,
the media is the same. The same TVs that we watch for entertainment and knowledge is the same TVs that portray us as animals and the scum of the earth to every other country outside of the United States. So
yeah.
how can we trust the history of the media, which is showing us what we want to see and showing the world what they want, what they want them to see?
Because back in the time, what the world wanted to see was black people hung, black people beat,
But
by.
who? Okay, but
But so what they
outside
did
of
was
hearing them,
documented that stuff. They documented that stuff. Like before there was people putting on before they turned it on to black on black crime to sell ratings, people wanted to see that nigga was lynched. So what did the news reporters do? Get that picture. Get that picture. And it would be all the white men with their guns, and they would be happy standing underneath of a nigga underneath of a tree hanging, and there would be some journalists like, we got it. And everybody wake up in the morning like, they hung that nigga. They got him. So like that stuff is documented from our closest memory.
but was he hung because of slavery, or was he hung because of a crime he may have committed, or was he hung like that's the thing. I understand racism exists, right? I do. I definitely believe in racism. I believe in all of that. But what I also believe that is that the media and society tries to manipulate our knowledge to cater to what they want us to believe. And even with this oppression stuff that's going on right now, like we are teaching our kids that they are not good enough and that they'll never be good enough to be anything. So you just might as well settle for being the worst of society. And I don't think that's cool.
Hold on now. No one is telling their kids that, but you do have to instill with your kids that you are not good enough and you have to go above and beyond.
I saw a video the other day where Black parents were making their kids cry, literally talking about police brutality, but they weren't being logically correct. And I think I'm going to show this video next week. They weren't being logically correct. They were making it seem like if you walk down the street, the police is going to beat you and shoot you and kill you. And this 4-year-old girl was just sitting there crying like, why? Like, come on now. Like, yes, there's stuff that's going on in the world, but why are you putting fear in your children, telling them, even with the whole oppression stuff, you're basically telling someone, no, you'll never be good enough.
Right.
Yes, there are systems in place. It depends on what you want to be good enough in, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like there is Black excellence. That's why there's a hashtag Black excellence. Stop telling these children that they cannot achieve that. But let me move forward to this next clip of him, and he was talking more so about ancestors and how Black people are always talking about what their ancestors went through, and this is because we're still harping on what happened 500 years ago as opposed to harping on what's going on right now and the issues that we need to the issues we need to address right now, as opposed to crying about what happened 500 years ago. So
okay. All right.
I said trigger warning. Like,
I'm with the shit.
I enjoy watching this guy though. He's funny.
So what? Black people don't really respect their ancestors. They don't really respect that culture. They pretend that they do, but they don't. If they did, the community would be a lot better. This woman, like most women, or like most people, have nothing to do with those people that were supposedly even lynched. I think it's appalling to a degree to keep acknowledging Blacks of that year when you have little innocent boys and girls being killed by not innocent, but by stray bullets from drive-by shooting, gang-banging Negroes in Chicago and other cities. I've seen many little children killed at the hands of the little degenerate little nigglets in the community because they can't shoot right, so they end up shooting a kid at the playground. So to talk about a few ancestors that you have no idea what they were or who they were, that's fine. You can do that all you want. But me personally, I mean, I don't care. I've never have cared about that things in the past. And that's why I say worshiping the ancestors is dangerous because you're so in love with the ancestors. You're not in love with the current state of the Black community now. That's what's really appalling to me. You're so in love with these people that you've never even seen before. It's fascinating.
Who are you that you're referring to?
Well, what I'm saying is this ancestor worship, Jezebel culture of worshiping these ghosts. Why not worship the people who are here now?
I believe that we are.
Did y'all hear that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I did.
I mean, what are your thoughts?
I don't understand what he's referring to. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, worshiping our ancestors. Well, I mean, for one, our cultures,
y'all don't even know. Hey, at one clip, he was like, Harriet Tubman, he was like, y'all believe that shit? This woman, he said, oh my gosh, I gotta find it. He was like, she did. So she hauled barefoot back and forth across 7 states.
He talking about Harriet?
but that's not even what. But that's what I'm saying. Like, he don't even know Harriet Tubman's real story.
I might be getting it mixed up, but the man, he went in, he was like, y'all really believe that shit? That she really... No, I think that's what underground fucking railroad. Like, he went in, he was...
Harriet, a lot of people don't know the Underground Railroad was from Southern Maryland to Northern Washington, D.C. Like, that's all it was. She went from Southern Maryland, which is like, I think it was Cumberland, Maryland, or Fredericksburg, Maryland, or something like that, to D.C.
Salisbury.
To D.C. So, and I get it, back in those days, that's a trip to be walking, yes, but there wasn't the roads, there wasn't the buildings.
So
but like,
this is in the history books. It make it seem like she walked all the way from Macon, Georgia, all the way up to Annapolis, Maryland, back and forth to get slaves. And he was saying, like, you got to be an idiot to believe some shit like that. But
the history books definitely state. The thing is, like, we have to worship our ancestors because it's culture. It's culture. And like, this is okay, like this, right? We talk about the movie depictions of things, right? Okay. When you watch the really, really richest fuck white people or the richest fuck Black people in movies, all of them got a goddamn room. That's great granddaddy Russell. He started this family with just a penny, and look what he made today. And now all this is because of them. When he's talking about not worshiping your ancestors, I hate to say it, it's more poorism, right? It's the act of not understanding where you come from and having anything or values, anything that gives you a thing to look up to or keep doing. No
That's
standard.
fine to have values, but to keep up, like I feel like this culture, this ancestor culture, is what's keeping us down now. Instead of people talking about us moving forward or what's going on in the Black community right now, they only talk about, oh, Black Wall Street, they burned it down. Oh, this, our people was great in the 60s. They did this. Like, how about we worry about what we can do today? And I think that's basically what he's saying. He's also saying, like, people are mad about what their so-called ancestors went through that probably ain't even in their bloodline. Like, that's what he's saying. Like, you're getting all upset and creating all these issues and anger up inside of you, and you didn't even go through the shit that they went through. And if you really respected your ancestors, the community would be a lot better than if Black people respected their ancestors so much, especially Black Americans. If they respected their ancestors so much, Black America wouldn't be in the current state that it is right now.
Yeah, they'd be poor.
They would respect each other's lives, and we would be advancing.
We'd be still poor and slaves today if we respected our ancestors' culture. Our ancestors' culture was to lay down.
Hold on, so which is it? Are we going to worship the ancestors?
No. No, you are supposed to worship them, but in worshiping,
worship God. You're not so nobody's higher than
God. In worshiping them and remembering them.
Admiration, but no worship. You can't work like
whatever the case may be. You better be acknowledging everything that they went through and understanding that everything that they went through, you don't have to anymore. And if you set yourself up to a point where you're like, hey, let's just all get back like our ancestors. Let me do like my great granddaddy, and let them just come up in my house and take whatever they want, do whatever they want. No, along the way, we learned that we don't have to. One of our ancestors started a fight so that whatever war that was doesn't have to be anymore.
Okay. So you think our ancestors would be proud of the state Black America is in it right now?
You think Martin Luther King would be proud of
Black crime?
What's the question? The question is, what are we talking about? Would our ancestors be happy that we seen a Black president in our era? I think so.
Okay.
Would our ancestors like to see that we have Black billionaires in the world? I think so. Would our ancestors like to see that now we have more Black business owners than ever before? I think so. Would they like to see that now, if you look at the stats, Black families are the highest families in the world, and statistic-wise? I think so.
To do what? Just to be born?
No. With Black fathers in the household is the highest stat than any other race. There's more Black fathers in the household in today's world. In today's world, there's more Black fathers still in the household than any other race.
Okay, we need you to pull those statistics.
Anybody, y'all can Google that, but that's a stat. Y'all look it up.
Okay, so maybe they would be proud, but I
when you think about,
we should worship our ancestors.
We can't keep. The thing is,
them, yes.
The thing he's talking about focusing on, we always focus on the violence, the Black on Black killing. Blacks been killed. Y'all think that ain't no damn Black person killed a Black slave when they were slaves? None of them got killed each other. Hell yeah, they did. Yeah, Black people been killing Black people since the beginning of time. When they was just in Africa, they was killing each other. That ain't nothing new. So people keep on talking about violence. Violence is not going anywhere, people. Yeah, violence started the day Cain killed Abel. It's a violent world. We live in it. But at the end of the day, to say we're not acknowledging what's going on today, well, let's just be real. Who's not acknowledging what's going on today? I just acknowledge all the great things Black people doing because I'm seeing it. If you choose to not see it, so be it. But I think our ancestors will be more than proud. What was a dream Martin Luther King said he had? Little black boys.
That wasn't our dream. That was
It was
his
Martin's
dream.
dream. It was Martin's dream. Little black
out to
boys and
Charleston
little white
White.
girls.
Shout out to Charleston White, because Charleston White set the record straight. Nah, nigga, that was Martin Luther King's dream. That wasn't our dream. Okay.
Correct.
That wasn't
Correct.
that was his dream. His dream got us at the bottom of the totem pole right now.
Listen, at the end of the day, that man dream got him a goddamn speech in front of millions of people. And until someone else is willing to stand up and tell us their dream on the
what
major.
he reminds me of? Like when I think modern day MLK would be like T.I. or like a Charlemagne the God. Like someone that has a voice, but that's speaking what the white people want us to hear, but make it sound good to niggas. That's what I think of MLK. And I'm just.
I mean, like, it's crazy because I don't never
now,
really.
You talk about Malcolm, that's something different, but I feel like a lot of things that, I mean, equality, I guess, but we still don't have equality to this day. Let Black people tell it. So I don't know.
We don't. We don't have equality. We don't have equality. And the thing about it is, people have to stop asking for equality, right? Because if we stop asking for equality, then we'll understand life how it has to be. There's a winner and there's a loser. And you can't be equal. We can't draw everything. We have to start asking to win. We have to start wanting to be winners. It's time for us to win. I don't want to be equal. Because a lot of y'all don't understand. You more equal than you think. You just don't live in an equal area. I want some of y'all to really understand what I'm saying.
All right, so we're going to play this. You talked about equality. And I just found this very interesting because I didn't know that this was going on.
I love this video.
But I knew that a lot of businesses, especially these tobacco and vape places that's popping up everywhere, you don't really see certain stuff in white areas. You don't see liquor stores everywhere. They have an ABC store, like one probably within a 10-mile radius that everybody goes to, as opposed to the hood where there's a liquor store in every 2 blocks, every 3 blocks. But she said something very telling in here, and I want you guys to listen, especially to my Black business owners and my Black people living in the hood.
Americans were redlined from opening businesses in white neighborhoods because white people didn't want Asian Americans operating in their neighborhoods and didn't want Asian Americans profiting off of white people.
Oh yeah, this is really important.
But because the positionality of Asian Americans is weaponized to oppress Black people, Asian Americans were being given loans to open businesses in Black communities, even though Black people were not able to receive loans to open businesses in their own communities.
Say what?
And as I've said before, as a result of this, Black wealth is essentially paid out twice when it goes to Asian American businesses, even though Black people were not able to receive loans to open businesses in their own communities.
So everybody robbing us.
Black wealth is essentially paid out twice when it goes to Asian American businesses, once when the individual pays for the goods or services, and then again when the Asian American business owner removes the profit. Asian Americans were redlined from opening businesses in white neighborhoods because white people.
And what do you guys think about that?
So what? And she's trying to give this fake political answer, but I don't think she really understands. She's acting like she was in the goddamn back of the room at the board meetings when all this stuff was going down. But let me break it down to you. When was the last time you guys seen white people huddling around the goddamn curry out? Or I mean, because they can drive to them, they can call them for them, but what do white people don't eat that shit? So listen, it's statistically.
Or if they do, they go to like Panda or like
they go to Panda Express. It's statistically not strategically for them because they don't shop there. Now let's just talk about it. What do Chinese people do when they get in our Black neighborhoods? How many of y'all have been going to the same Chinese spot damn near almost all your life.
They closed Eastern Empire.
Southeast Good Hope Curry Out is still there. I've been going there since I was a kid, a baby. Good East Curry Out is still open, and I've been going there since about 2004.
Yeah, they closed the one.
They stay. Now, I'm sorry. There's a black store right beside it. Remember that store called Us Helping Us? That little store with the clothes. Or let's talk about a store called Hobo. Remember Hobo?
Yeah, the Hobo shop.
How long did that shop last? Because you niggas wasn't going to go shopping with the niggas, man. That's why they're not giving black people loans, because they understand black people take these loans, black people don't support black people, and then these black people end up owing us. I mean, it's not rocket science. We're looking at the world like, oh, everything is to hurt us. But these people have strategically understood, like, young, unless you show us that you can handle this, we really don't want to put you in another situation where we got to be looking for you or you really be messed up.
Listen, as I was saying before, this shit's been going on forever. It's just now that I guess we have social media and other ways for people to notice it, then they want to advertise it. You know what I'm saying? Because this carryout shit's been going on since forever.
Right.
Since forever. Since we were born. You know what I'm saying? Since probably before we were born. But now it's like, oh my gosh, has this been going on forever? This isn't right. But something else I found out, some simple shit. Do you know that every hospital is supposed to post how much it costs for whatever surgeries or whatever procedures? It's a law. Only 1% of the hospitals do this, and this is a law.
But look, though, let's ask a funnier question. Is there a Foreman Mills in Pentagon City Mall?
No, and you know why.
All right, then. At the end of the day, stores go where they go to fit the demographics.
You know what? I never seen Asian people eat their own food.
They eat it in the back. They eat it in the back. They cook it. They cook it and eat it in the back.
They eat the rice. They don't eat the rest of that.
They eat the rice. Yeah, they don't eat the rest of it.
I would say because they bring their food from home. But the other day was my first time seeing Asian people eat Asian food, and that was at Korean barbecue.
I'm not gonna cap. Like, I don't expect to go to McDonald's and seeing a nigga in the back eating the McDonald's Big Mac, right? He at work. So I don't expect to see them eating it. They probably go home and cook the shit out of that shit for themselves.
I'll also let you know, anybody who ever worked at McDonald's is not gonna eat that shit.
Right.
I worked at McDonald's. I thought it was 4 hours, 15 minutes. But in that 15 minutes, I've learned so much information that I'm good on McDonald's.
Right.
I've seen too much behind the scenes, and I'm like, oh, this is what happens.
So I don't care. I don't care that black people can't get businesses in black neighborhoods. I believe that the right black people can get businesses in black neighborhoods because I've seen it happen. But we got to talk about the black neighborhoods supporting the black businesses before we talk about they're not getting their shot in the hood. So I think that's a bigger problem.
Yeah, I think the support is what's missing.
And the fact that black people get businesses and want to skyrocket their prices way past what you would pay another person. Like they were talking about Moneybag Yo's restaurant, and the tomahawk steak was outrageously.
That's a perfect price for a tomahawk steak. And
I mean, I think so too. But when I think about it, I'm like, okay, well, look at these black clothing brands. They're literally going to Walmart, buying a $7 sweatshirt, ironing on some words or a patch, and charging you $80 for it.
Well, a whole tracksuit, yeah, I get it, bro.
A whole tracksuit that they paid $20 for.
Honestly, hearing what that Chinese woman just said, I totally get why blacks have to do it. If they're not giving you buildings and places to sell your shit, do you think they're giving you the vendors and the real distributors that can help you get your, like these niggas that make the shoes and the clothes, they can't go up there and call the damn same sweatshop that goddamn whoever get their shit made up. They got to go out and do a lot more work.
Not? But why not
Well, we know sweatshops go to the big dogs. The big dogs got the sweatshops. If I could just go up here and start calling the Nike sweatshop and ask them to make my product for $2 like they do, them Nike shoes and make me a little design. If I could go and do that, then I'd be having me some Air Sixxesses out here. But I can't. And if I did have some Air Sixxesses, I'd have to charge you $1,000 for them, not $300 like Jordan. I'm sorry. Because I have to do a lot more. I have to do the footwork myself. I'm no longer that guy.
But then why would I pay you the same price that I would go and pay an established designer? That's what
exactly.
Because they're like, oh, you supposed to support me, but I would have if your prices was a little cheaper until I got used to your product.
You know what's crazy though?
What?
If you look at back in the day, right? Let's go way back in the day before Nike had a name, when they first dropped their first shoe and nobody knew who they were. The shoe was $100 in a time when shoes you could get for $30, $40. The shoe was $100. They were unproven and everything. No one knew who they were, but we gave them a shot. And I'm gonna tell you how the real, we gave them a shot because they were white. If it was a black company that came out with that same module, same plan, we wouldn't have gave him a shot. We'd have been like, this boy's shoes, $40. And you got him $100.
Okay, so who I thought did really, really good was Pharrell when he came out with them ice creams back in the day. And I don't know why Jay-Z put up the Sean Carters, and the G-Units was pretty cute too. So, I mean, people supported those.
Jay-Z sold 10,000 selling more than the Jordans or the phone posits.
Right. Jay-Z sold 10,000 pair of shoes. 10,000 pair of shoes. That was the number. He sold 10,000 pair of shoes.
Who, Jay-Z?
Yes.
Okay, why?
Why? Because when he got on stage, he made sure he had on the top shoes.
And not his shoes.
Why would I? And then when the next artist got on stage, the reality of it is, if you have a basketball shoe, if there's a basketball player in it, no one's going to want to wear it. And he has to be the top basketball player.
The only shoes that I've seen just continue going on, and I don't even understand how, are the Shaqs. Them motherfuckers in Kmart, Payless. I don't even know where the fuck them joints at, but Shaq still got shoes. And it just amazes me because they look just like the Jordans, but they got the little, the Dunk Man, not the Dunk Man, but the other Dunk Man.
The Shaq Man. Because of his module, which is very genius. Like you provide to the low tiers and let them get it because, hey, there's a place. And plus he's very, what they call it, he's a philanthropist. He always giving and always taking care of the people, the kids. That's why Shaq winning. And yeah, man, like I don't know, man. I just feel like we're in a world where a lot of people are not understanding the behind the scenes. It's just a lot of like, oh, I want to do. And I don't see nothing wrong with people setting their prices high until they can get into a position to be competitive with the market. They have to start high. And I don't
look, I get upset with people when they always ask for discounts, and I'm like, come the fuck on. I'm selling lighters for $3. Why would I sell it to you for any less? Do you go to your gas station and be like, hey, let me get that big lighter for $1? I know it's $3, but I only got $1 right now. Nah, you just about to leave with no lighter. So I do think people need to respect and support the prices that these black businesses give out.
I don't even know what you're talking about right here on this next clip. But this is a way to end the show. Let's do it.
What the fuck am I looking at?
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Is that supposed to be a man in the middle?
In what middle?
Is that a man in the purple?
No, that's a woman.
Whatever.
All
right.
This
what you doing?
Is trans a trend?
You know you ain't right.
Is it? What do you guys think?
Is it trending on what you call it?
Is being trans a trend? So apparently the VP at Bud Light. Do you guys drink Bud Light?
No, ma'am.
No.
Okay, so do you guys know what's going on with Bud Light?
Not at all.
I'm reading.
Okay, so Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light, and the other companies, the other beers that they make or whatever. Bud Light specifically had put Dylan Mulvaney. Do you guys know who he is?
Nope.
Okay, so Dylan Mulvaney is a trans that Bud Light decided to put on the front of their cans. Now, it's not only that Dylan is a trans, he is a perv trans, is what they call him. They said that this grown ass man started 365 days to girlhood, not womanhood, but girlhood, and believes that he is a little girl. Now he runs around parading, doing all kinds of fake girly stuff. If a bug comes by, he throws himself on the ground, rolls around, and screams, "Ah, bug!" He acts like a ditz, and it's a lot of women feel like it's a mockery to women. Now,
But you said he act like a dick.
like a ditzy bitch. So apparently, Bud Light, like a lot of right-wing celebrities were really upset. Conservatives were really upset about a trans being on the front of their beer can. Kid Rock shot a couple of coolers of Bud Light with his semi-automatic rifle to show them that he does not play around and he is not down with the get down.
I don't blame him.
Other celebrities show their anger and they have been boycotting Bud Light. So apparently the VP went online and stated that they have a new customer, they're targeting a new customer base, and that the company was going down in a hole, and she's not worried about the old customers, she's focused on the new ones, and that's why Dylan's face is on the front of the beer can.
That's
Well,
so dumb.
that didn't go over so well. People kept protesting. Their sales and their stocks went down about, I want to say 17%, but I don't know. That's allegedly. And now they replaced the marketing VP who was responsible for the recent trans inclusion campaign. How do you guys feel about this?
I totally understand it. I totally get it. And I would have fired her too.
J-Money?
And I'm not firing her because of the trans inclusion. I'm not firing her because of her idea. I'm firing her because I have customers that you were brought in to market to. I didn't ask you about a new fan base. And if you do want to interject a new fan base, it's an interjection and an add-on. There's an option. You know, like when you do any type of event and you start that and there's a separate can or separate packaging for it, but you still have the original option that you could have. So I don't blame any man for not wanting to put a drink with a trans on it to his mouth. I don't blame him. I don't blame him for not wanting to grab a can with a man on it and squeeze it and hold it and drink from it. I don't blame him. But I do understand that there are trans who like a good beer, and this is good for them. This was something for them. They should have been allowed to have that. But I don't think that this VP who thought to stand up and say pretty much F the OGs, we got some new people that's about to come up in town.
Yeah, because they definitely wasn't having it. And I didn't really care too much for the Dylan Mulvaney character until or what's going on with Bud Light until I heard about the tampon commercial in which he fabricated it, and Tampax managed to wiggle their way out of that quick enough before the women went haywire. It's already bad enough that we can't call pads and tampons feminine products, but what's even worse is having a biological man promote and advertise products that are only used on biological women. It's kind of like saying, well, women, you don't matter, we don't care about you, even though you're the only people that are able to use this product. We're going to put a man in front of this product just to push this trans agenda. So a lot of women was in an uproar. I don't use their products anyway. I looked them up. They are a product line under Procter & Gamble, which is one of my favorite company. So it was just like, well, I just won't use this specific Tampax brand at all. Same thing with Nike. I really don't see myself giving them any more dollars. They use Dylan Mulvaney to advertise a sports bra. So instead of finding a woman that may have had a double mastectomy or something, or just any woman of that matter, they decided to put a man in a sports bra and parade him in front of the TV as if to say there's not real women that can fill those roles. So Dylan has been getting a lot of sponsorships. He's racking up on these bucks. However, what I really don't like about the trans agenda is trying to erase women out of our spaces. Now, I'm going to real quickly say this, and I'll play this clip next week, but we're so concerned about the safety of trans women in men bathrooms, but they don't seem to give a shit about them being biological men in the women's bathroom. They say that, oh, they're not there to watch us, or they're not there to make us feel uncomfortable. And that we shouldn't be scared of them. Well, why, if our safety doesn't matter, why don't you use the bathroom that you're biologically assigned to? What do you think other men are going to do? You're just using your business, minding your business. Like,
Right.
why do you think other men are going to harass you because you're in there? It's just a whole bunch of baloney. I hope that
All of it.
this new law passes to where the House just tries to pass a bill where transgenders cannot participate in biological women's sports. I hope this law does get passed, because it seems like they can come into our spaces, but we don't see a lot of trans men who are women that change to men trying to bully their way into the male spaces. And if they're going to let those men into our women's sports, then they need to eliminate the WNBA and the NBA and just make it one BA.
I mean, honestly, in this situation, I get where you coming from as a woman, right? But this is what I employ you to look at and think about, right, Jezebel?
Mm-hmm.
There was a time in a day when a black kid who wanted to play sports, play baseball, had no one to look up to. And all they had was white faces.
Listen.
No,
You're not going to convince me that anybody's delusion or mental health case
hear me
is
out,
something
though.
I mean, it can be represented, but in
Now,
the
hear me
right
out, though.
manner. Like, this is we're not going to sit here and act like body dysmorphia or gender dysphoria is not a mental illness. We're not.
That's
gonna
not what I'm
sit here
saying.
and act like that. You're saying that little kids need representation. Why are little kids
No.
trans in the first place?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying little kids or anybody need
Okay,
inspiration.
so
What I'm saying is,
representation.
there are people who look up to these people for their own lifestyle. Now, at the end of the day, when Jackie Robinson got into sports, it didn't make like little white boys say, I want to be a black athlete. It just gave black athletes somebody to say, damn, I can be an athlete
Our
too.
skin color. Michael Jackson was one of the few.
All I'm saying is trans.
We cannot, and we
All I'm
will
saying
not.
is everybody.
We cannot, and we will not equate gender dysphoria and body dysmorphia, which is a mental. We're not gonna conflate that with racial issues.
We can though.
We cannot.
We can.
No, we cannot.
It's no different than Christian. It's no different than if somebody. It's no different than if I tell somebody. It's no different than if I tell somebody. It's no different than religion. It's no different than anything.
No, religion is something that you choose, just like being transgender is something that you choose.
Exactly.
It's something that you choose. Being heterosexual is something
exactly
that you are taught. So
exactly,
you're not taught your race. You come out black, and that's what you are. You come out white, and that's what you are. You cannot put those. And I'm sorry.
Being trans and stuff like that is no different than religion.
No, you cannot. You cannot, and you will not, and you will not offend.
I agree to disagree. I will agree to disagree.
Listen, black people tell this man that being trans is a choice. Being black is not a choice.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is having someone to look up to. Even Christians. Let's talk about Christians. If they would have never started, if they would have never started publicizing Kirk Franklin like they did, all Christians would have thought they had to do music a certain way.
I agree that they should have representation. I'm not saying that trans should not have representation. They should not eliminate women to have that representation. They can have, just like Piers Morgan proposed the other day on his show, we could create a separate league that addresses them. We don't need to give them separate bathrooms. If you're trans and I can't tell that you're a man, I don't care what you look like, but you can't be butch in a female's bathroom. Go in a male's bathroom. We're trying to have representation in Nike. Why don't Nike just make something that's just specifically like, you know, like
they did. That's what they did. You create an ad that's showing them that they can wear sports bras too. I mean, it's nothing. Listen, I totally get. The only way I would have a problem with it if Tampax put out an ad saying or put out some type of data saying we will no longer be using women to promote we're using transgenders now to promote it. We're no longer using women. There's still commercials where women are using it. Now this is just a commercial for them. There's still commercials where women are in sports bras.
Biological man need a tampon.
We don't know. We don't know. That's not our world. That's not our world.
So why would you be advertising it?
At the end of the day, obviously they're buying them. And obviously they are buying them.
No, they're not buying them.
Then why would they ever come to a trans man to do it?
Dylan has X amount of million followers on TikTok. It's all about the reach. So
some trans came to that department, or someone came to that department with knowledge that's knowing.
Okay, so let me tell you this. I would have rather it been a trans man advertising a tampon, which is a woman who changed it to a man, full beard, looked like husky. If it was a trans man up there like, well, even sometimes I still need to use this, I would have preferred that than to have a biological man advertising a product that only biological females go through. Like, women go through so much, and the reason I harp on this and I get upset about it is because as a woman, as a young girl, we go through so much. There's no way you're going to put a wig on, go get plastic surgery, and then adopt and try to erase what I've been through all my life. No, I shouldn't have to show my birth certificate because it's too difficult to tell the difference between you and me because you're able to fucking do all this crazy shit. Like, no.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think that I agree with you, but I don't think that anybody's new position should put old positions in jeopardy or at risk. And I don't think that they do.
You're married, so luckily for you, you're not.
But I still don't think that
and food.
But I still don't believe that them putting transgenders on beer cans.
I don't think that's a big deal either.
Or putting them in these sports bra ads. Now I get the tampon ad maybe a little extreme.
With the sports bra, I have an issue because he doesn't have breasts. If they would have put Blair White, who's a trans woman, she still has her thing, but she has titties. If they would have had her up there, it would have been better because she has implants. You know what I'm saying? She's still a biological male.
I've seen a woman with A cups. I've seen a woman with A cups in a sports bra.
Right, but not okay. All right.
Those ain't nothing. They just hitting her like this.
Being trans is a new trend because I don't understand why men don't. Can y'all answer this for me? Y'all, the two men on this panel. Why is it that men no longer want to be men anymore?
I'm happy. I'm sorry. I can't.
I already addressed this. Being a man is the hardest thing in the world to be. Why people don't understand that? I keep telling y'all this, but y'all want to keep. The world wants to keep battling old Sixxcess on this, but it's okay. Being a man is the hardest thing to be. I mean, listen. Kanye West had a whole speech on explaining why it's so hard to be a white man, and it had me thinking, it is hard to be a white man. But being a man is the hardest thing to be. Well, who gets all the support? Who?
The women.
Yeah, now the men in wigs.
I mean, even the men in wigs, they're not safe from you.
What do you mean they're not? They're safe from
No,
me.
what I'm saying is they are not safe. They are a man. They are a man.
Yeah, they need to stay in their place, but they're safe. Like, I don't judge. Okay, so like if a trans was to come up to me, I'm not gonna be like, ew, get away. Like, I'm not gonna do any of that. But if me and a trans is in the same space and a man walks up and she or he does not say that they're trans, I'm gonna feel some type of way.
I mean, I get that, but people, let's rewind 2 minutes, right? Rewind 2 minutes. Let's say if it was a trans man, that means a woman that turned into a man, it would have been more comfortable or acceptable, easier to accept.
I don't care if it's a man. Like, I actually have trans women that I follow on Instagram. I think they're amazing. I think they're beautiful people. Like, I don't have a problem just because you're a man
Right.
in a wig. I have a problem with men that believe that they are women. That's where my issue comes in. I don't believe in illusion. Like,
you know why most people have that problem?
Why?
Because it gives them access to a certain protection that they had that's not entitled to them because they're a man.
No, I just believe that mental health cases need to be treated as such. Like, that's just like, if I believe that I was if I believe that I was 400 pounds, right? Y'all heard of bulimia and anorexia, right?
Yeah.
That's still body dysmorphia. If I believe that I was 500 pounds, but I only weigh 100, and I constantly throw up, and I say, oh, I'm too fat, I need to get skinny, like, that's a mental disorder. That's the same thing with trans. You are born a man, and you constantly go to mutilate your body to look like something that you will never be. Like, it's a delusion. Now, if you're a man and you like, yeah, I still got my dick, but I got some titty, like that what you are, but you want to live as something else that's different than you trying to convince me that you and I are the same. And I know good and damn well we are not. You're not going to play those games with me.
At the end of the day, I do believe that there is a certain amount of protection and a certain a feel, and also a mental makeup that makes people feel that being trans women or trans men, I don't even know how the terms go, but being trans is their free choice, right? And at the end of the day, if you're not in that community, it's like me. I don't give a damn. White people come and tell me all the time about things they eat, things they're doing, skydiving and shit like that. I don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not my thing. But at the end of the day, I understand that, hey, there are people like that who believe that they can no longer walk in the light. They can no longer work. They can no longer get ass. They can no longer be picked for this because of what they're choosing. And now that you have someone who's thinking, okay, let's get them to start buying because maybe they don't support because they don't know or whatever the case may be. Look, everybody money is money.
Look, you got all the reasons in the world, and I agree with your reasoning. My only thing is, like, it's still a danger to society. You got kids now that don't know if they're a boy or a girl. They just don't know. And it's like, why are we lying to kids about their biological gender? It's one thing to tell a child once they're knowledgeable what they can choose, and another thing to add to that is these kids are old enough to choose to mutilate their bodies and to say if they're gay, they want to date the same sex and all this other stuff, but they're still not old enough or legal to own a gun. They're still not old enough to buy cigarettes. They're still not old enough to drink alcohol and drive a vehicle. So why are we saying kids are old enough to make life-altering decisions like that, but we're putting age limits on other things, especially when it comes to dating? Like, what the fuck is statutory rape?
Well, why we acting like remember it was like, I guess like 5 to 10 years ago, there was reports that at the rate America is going, we're going to be overpopulated. We're going to run out of food. We're not going to be able to sustain because people are making too many babies.
Mm-hmm. They're still saying that about the food.
Well, how they stopping babies from being made?
I mean, that's you right about that. They figured out a way for sure.
So hopefully there'll be enough food for me to make it to my hundreds and well over. All right.
Well, y'all, I hope you guys weren't too triggered. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button while we still got y'all in here.
If you want to see J Money in a suit next week, go ahead and hit the like button and drop a comment. J Money in a suit next week.
And make sure you guys follow us on all our social medias at Boss Biz Radio, at I Am Sixxcess, also at Rolling with Sixxcess, and at JmoneyGibbs. You guys already know we will be back again next Monday. Like I said, I hope these topics weren't too triggering. Please respond.
I got my shirt, J Money.
I see it.
I got my shirt.
Please respond in the comments. Let us know how y'all felt about the topics today. Give us your feedback. Yeah. And we'll be back at it next week. We still got some more triggering topics to talk about because I didn't finish my list today. But as always, you know, it was great with you guys. Anything you guys want to say to the people?
Y'all make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down at the bottom. Yes, sir. Then make sure y'all follow me and follow J Money and follow Jzabel on all platforms.
Yes, yes. And you know we stay lit and we're going to be right back at it again next Monday like it's nothing.
Yes, guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. And we are out of here.
Peace.
Peace.